There was a joke going around where we lived like, somebody would like, you working? You'd be like, no, I'm on the dole. You'd be like, the money's terrible, but the hours are great, So, which is true, and that's one of the things that I decided was like, yeah, I've got no money, I've got support network, but what I have got is I've not got this fear of for my safety. I'm away from all of the trouble that was around me. I've got no distractions in terms of like my social group and other things. Like no disrespect to them, still love all of those guys and people that were in my life, but that meant that I was like laser focused then on what I had to do, and it was like there was no going back. It was like I made the decision. I'm going to keep going until I kind of make it, and I set myself some goals. First one was stay in every day and produce music. Don't take a job, no matter what the job centre say to me. I ain't taking work unless it's something that I really want to do that's based in the music industry. And I gave myself the goal of getting a record out in 2 years. It's back when they released vinyl on the regular. And I managed to release my first record in a year's time. So, years from being on my floor, in tears, looking at the ceiling, to a year later, having my first record release, I was back on the floor crying again, but this time tears of joy. And that was the first kind of goal of a series of goals that are still ever evolving, and you don't ever really feel like you've made it. I get asked that a lot, like, when do you feel like you've made it? And I think the first time that, I never really felt like it. People say, oh, you're living a dream and stuff like that, but you're kind of, when you're in it doesn't really feel like that. You just keep going. But with hindsight, I can clearly say to people, like, you've made it when you are making a living off of doing what you love, no matter how little that is. And at that point, 2004, when I quit my last job, I had 2 pennies to rub together. I could just about pay for my bills. I was eating the bare minimum, like terrible food, beans and toast, frozen pizza. But I'm waking up every day and I'm like, all I have to do is make music and like try and get gigs. And those were some of the happiest times of my life, because it was like there was a freedom attached to that as well, because there was no expectations, there was no pressure. It was like it was up to me what happened next, and you write your own story from then. So it's like the hero's journey began from that point.